Welcome back, everybody. CaptainRoBear here, and crew. We got a little bit to talk about.
Onic Prime, you're going to do that.
You just drop that tiny nugget of lore at the end of the episode.
We've been gone for weeks, and you drop a bomb.
It is the bomb.
We're not going to have any combat unless you make it, he says. Brings back Onic Prime.
Yeah, right.
Now, to be clear, they're not Onic Prime. They only showed you a visage of their brethren. This is a new alien.
Oh, okay.
Now, what's crazy about this week is Byf sends me a message and he goes, hey, I just got through the end of Arc 3 of Baldur's Gate. He goes, fucking aliens? I'm like, yeah, same alien.
It feels so poetic and prophetic. It's great.
I go, yeah, that's one of them. So that one is a crash landed one that was stuck under the sea and slowly poisoning into the ocean. Now you realize there's one in Waterdeep. But you've only seen it this far as this Excellerant. You understand now what has been the corruption here, which has been destabilization of gravity. So you're seeing all the tie-ins of why there's an amethyst dragon that was here and it's been asleep for so long. And now something has been doing a long-term play with taking over gravity within this entire area. There's talk of unrest between the unions that are in town, the buildings exploding. There's a djinn on the loose that apparently seems to be in cahoots or at least working with whatever this symbiote is. And now you see it starting to spill over. The plot of the trouble in Waterdeep is now at the precipice for you all to see.
So, like, this is... Okay, two things. First of all, can I just say that this is incredible because now I see the parallels with Man with the Diamond Eyes, where just like that, in Baldur's Gate, they were trying to destabilize the city too, and they're doing basically the same thing here in Waterdeep, it's just a different approach, right?
Yes.
And that's
unoriginal fucks.
fucking hell. I love that.
How much energon do they need to go back to Cybertron?
Approximately one ancient amethyst dragon. Which
about that.
And here's the other fucking question. I got hit with this fucking poisonous corrupting shit when my Dark Iron Arm was coming along. The fire giants were using it to make shit. Is that still connected? Has this thing basically been a part of me?
it's part of its ability to change. Yes.
That is so ridiculous.
You have an arm that is part alien, part this world, part God-given thunder ore, lightning ore. You got
so fucking cool.
You got a lot mixed into one freaking bicep, dude.
Honestly, man, like there are story implications for things down the line that haven't even been touched on that are awesome for the sake of that. But like, holy fucking shit, that makes it even cooler. Like,
this is why I was so happy when Mud decided to go the route he did with a gravity wizard. I'm like, yes, you guys need this, and you have no idea how bad you need this coming up for somebody else to combat this entity, which has been doing its part to try to increase these explosions and get ever more. So you can see there's that little bit of infection is now starting to spread into this. Okay, yes, give me more. Now give me more. I'll be the Excellerant.
It's a thing of narrative beauty.
Wow.
I'm just waiting for them to reverse gravity, and then I can counter reverse gravity.
And then we'll stand
It'll
It's,
just sandwich you all. You all just get splatted in between the gravitational pulls.
is that like a counter spell almost at that point? Like
Counterspell?
I do have counterspell.
I mean, look, listen. At that point, I'm betting on you, dude. You got that strong ass DC for everything.
Some people do Marvel things. Mud's stuff does the boys things and makes things go splat.
I'm not interested in being a hero. Just being victorious, or dying in the process.
I'm glad that we had a nice vacant building for you to set this whole scene of like the gravity sink, the smashing and piling up over top of it. Such a cool visual scene that you painted on top of this fucking burning building that's also partially chafed off from the fucking ice and the sphere and the shit that all went around it. So cool.
Well, the fucking gravity wizard's fun. Just because of the, I mean, I flavor everything I play, but this especially with being able to just like flavor every single spell as some sort of gravity thing, you know, I could flavor a freezing sphere as like literally ripping open a void in space and letting, you know, all the atmosphere out in the area or something. You know what I mean? Like, or
So
just like
fun.
Steel Wind Strike becomes just, you know, pieces of shit I'm throwing around with gravitational. Like Gravity Wizard's fun because you can flavor a lot.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Feels perfect too, because it feels as though with the way that the party's assembling, we're slowly but surely starting to find all the different tools in people's kit that perfectly seem to start countering these things. You know, like at different points, it has been all sorts of things. You know, with Jacob and Gravity Wizard, it's one of the more obvious ones. But even down to like you, Glam, with Nelson's sudden move against Draxus when he was corrupted and doing that big blight damage. It's like little bits and pieces like that make me sit there and think, man, this is so perfectly crafted with everybody being as creative as they are with their builds and such. I don't know. It's a marvel to watch it all unfold. It really feels beautifully cohesive.
I missed it so much. When I said I missed it live earlier, I was like, not lying. I really did. No, you're absolutely right. It's a great game. Everybody is kicking so much ass.
Oh yeah.
So
Way too long.
now you kind of understand why there's a spell jammer and where this goes. So the whole we're finally at the point where we understand what Meteorian Core is, and it's always been about a story of an ancient alien force. So for those OGs out there that played Crystallis back in the day,
Oh my god, dude, yes.
Crystallis has always been my inspiration for this campaign since we created it for Man with the Diamond Eyes.
All right.
Once we came back to Earth, it was like, how long do we spend before we get back to the level that we started at? So it's the human journey at that point to come across. Well, I worked the second alien that was awakened that was underneath the sea. So I kind of got to get it out for me, but nobody else really knew. They were like, okay, it's just another alien. But yes, so that Onyx Prime, I can't think of their name right now from Baldur's Gate.
Tressic the Conqueror, or
Yes.
Tressic the Survivor, depending on form.
Yeah.
This guy
Thank
knows
you.
more about Baldur's Gate than I do.
Yeah, seriously.
It's just been so long since we were under the sea. So yeah, so it's been Onyx, Tressic, and now there is the new force, the one that's been corrupting up here. So it's always been about trying to complete that journey and finish up. So this is it. You're like, you see, you know, it is the stars is where Meteorian Core begins and ends.
Wait, ends. No.
More, please.
All
Yes.
stories eventually
But it
come to an
begins
end.
And keeps going. whatever he means.
And then the sequel starts.
Because space is eternity.
I'll be dead honest. In my heart of hearts, I would love to see nothing more than the campaign finish on GCX Live
Oh, wow. Could you imagine?
Be fun.
before we start a new one.
2034. about 4.
34.
Yeah,
GCX
2034.
There's a lot of
Yes.
time before
We'll be
the
on a
next
literal
GCX.
spaceship by then.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time before then.
And
But-
so much stuff still to do,
No,
and so
not
much,
enough.
so many things to connect with as well, with all sorts of other stuff.
So many new avian secrets to add to.
It's dark.
Dark avian secret.
They are of the dark.
Ah. Very excited to see everybody back in action as well. I know it's been said a bunch, but like it has been way too long. Like jonesing for Meteorian Core and more D&D has been my eternity for the last however, and I'm so fucking glad to be back with the crew.
And fucking first episode back, and Toff and Biddy are already destroying things again.
Oh, I think everybody kind of tore ass this one. It was kind of great.
Yeah.
Like phenomenal time back. And the neat thing as well is that everybody used their little bits and pieces and all the tools that we had. And it, you know, I could see how that fight gets really out of hand if everything suddenly splits multiple times. And yeah, in the meantime, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, like, nah, we just had the perfect tools. We got this. This is great. You know?
And it's, you know, this thing, it's not looking for a fight. It doesn't know there's going to be a fight. It's literal. What's terrifying is you've seen whatever this is, it's pieces of it.
Right.
Or it's created. Somehow it can speak through it. And this accelerant that's trying to rage through the city and kind of be this kind of like its own God, what do we use? And the horrible napalm. Like it's that gelatin like accelerant. The only thing, this just doesn't ever get consumed. It keeps rolling and rolling and rolling until it cools, and then it would just go back into the sewers of Waterdeep to come back again.
It's like a fucking gene stealer cult almost. That's amazing. Oh, like the whole thing of causing all that chaos, and on the face of it, it just looks like chaos. But no, it's more than that. You know, you've got your nonsense in between where it's doing intelligent things and working with a bigger outside force that is invading from the stars. Just
And I didn't.
that's brilliant.
I didn't think you guys would go here. I thought you guys would go to the building again. So that's why we got like, oh, here we go. Let's build this house scene. And I was like, oh, okay, I think it's time. Let's go ahead and bust it out, and reveal the secret. Hell yeah!
It feels as though when the progression comes towards it too, we've lined everything out perfectly for where things are going. You know, like we had our week off, but everything else sort of perfectly built to this. When finishing the Underdark crawl and seeing this extra little bit to the plot.
And here's an added piece that is so wild. So when I was going through like inspiration for this campaign, talking about Crystallisis and like this ancient alien force, you know, I looked at a lot of Phyrexian art from Magic, and then Magic went down the arc of them coming back as this campaign went down. And like they're leading to the, you know, the next big Phyrexian war that's going on. So now the art is like at a fever pace of the stuff that they're releasing. And I'm like, oh, this couldn't be any better. This is so good.
I'm also going to throw some things out there from other campaigns because I have obsessively, whilst working and other things, been scrolling through all the campaign stuff.
If you tell me there's a tie-in to Neon Regimes, I'm gonna.
No, but I have to question RoBear, with your universe and your lore and stuff. Are there maybe tie-ins that we could see? The obvious one being the Spelljammer commission game, and the not so obvious one being Call of the Netherdeep, because this is not the first time we have seen a terrifying Icarus growth that splits.
Maybe.
I have many questions. Oh my god.
Maybe.
Yeah. it's super exciting to see all the things, because watching all of this arc across all the different campaigns, this is the shit that I'm here for, dude.
You notice I used the same monster for it when Mud asked me whether I knew what I was going to pick out or not. I was like, yeah. And I just changed the color.
I'm just saying, if you have some sort of cross-campaign symbiote shit going on, then if Captain Aurelius doesn't end up as some sort of venom monster, then I'm gonna be mad.
The good news is, while these aliens are incredibly strong for planetary discrepancies, they pale in comparison of what floats in wild space. There are so many stronger things. These things want to conquer planets. The things that lurk in wild space conquer galaxies. You have to think about it as that 6 scale that starts to take off. They're encountering astral elves that became immortal because they spent so much time on the outer rim of space that its life doesn't even exist in the same function anymore. So there's those things in wild space that are so freakishly different than something that lives for a biological blip. So while these aliens are terrifying to us, they're someone else's bitch in wild space.
Right. It's like, and imagine for a second if Onyx Prime is just like the little kind of the skivvy to some other greater force. Like, what does that look like? That's, oh man, I'm there for that.
These things are trying to harness and terraform. They want the power of the planet. What's larger and doesn't care about an individual planetary energy? They're going to another star. These things are bothering with the difficulty of dealing with a civilization on a planet that's active. Something that's truly interstellar could care less. It's going to go and it's going to absorb the biggest star that it can. That's where you end up in astral dreadnought territory and some crazy JRPG shit. But for here, absolutely terrifying. And what they can do as far as the implication of your characters and trying to remove humanity so it can make its planet in its own vision. It gets a little Tron-like. Not a perfect system, but it's their system.
Oh god, I need to send you like 15 DMs about various different things.
I also just want to fly on the spaceship.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, the Spelljammer is awaiting, dude, somewhere.
Please.
Hold your horses, Glam.
No, I want to board this motherfucker. I want to sail through the stars.
Dude, well, the great part is, after this, you have a reason to bring it up. Like, where's the spaceship? There are aliens here. We gotta go back.
Glam is just on the bow of the ship being like, drive me closer, I want to hit them with my sword.
Glam's gonna be really upset when he has to enter through the ship's taint.
Hell yeah.
Imagine being upset.
Oh, this is going to be so exciting with a group, and they're going to freak out when they hear the rest of this.
Oh my god.
Dang.
What did you guys talk about
too
the
much
after
info
show?
for me.
Let's just say I'm sticking around in the chat for that episode of Netherdeep, let me tell you. I'm hot on the trail of that bad boy as well. Oof.
Yeah, you know what? I hadn't told Mud about it yet. That we had the big scene with me separating from Malakar. So Malakar's been my patron the whole time, and I've been slowly trying to do evil things over the course of time. And yeah, so like their whole campaign is a great evil within the
How did you end
Netherdeep.
up with Malakar as a patron?
He's trying to get the fuck out, and there's this disturbance in Critical Role's Netherdeep, which is our deep below, same realm, 2 different worlds. They have an issue that's down there, and Malakar is trying to use it for his advantage to try to break free while there's these people that are interested in coming to the deep. And I got fucking cleansed. It was like 3-4 nat 20s against me. and Feisty was able to separate me from my patron, and it had a kind of a story of me and Radio were fishing on the boat, and I went over with the net, and when I sunk down below, right before I went into the deep, into the dark water, it clouded black, and Malachar gave me a chance to live, and I took the chance instead of perishing like I should and letting the sea take me. I chose to accept that, and that's when I came back up.
That guy's a dick.
So they're all of them, they're all jonesing. They're all going, where's Valis at with this? And I go, guys, Valis doesn't give a shit about Malachar. He's an ant, and he's retired with Kiki. He couldn't give a fuck less about him and his little pool down there. I was like, he only showed up from a favor in the last. He thinks so little of him. I said, it would take something so much greater to disturb him. And I go, is Malachar free? No. Yeah, he ain't gonna give a shit.
It's somebody else's problem now.
Knows, they'll have to see. But appreciate all the patrons. Thank you. We'll hook you guys up with this. Well overdue for some lore talk. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Can't wait.
Hell yeah.